What is going on, guys? It's Adam aka Marf. Today we're going to be talking about a whole broad range of subjects, including California. So stick around. There's a lot of crazy weird stuff going on. I'm going to ask your opinion on some stuff. Again, this is the only live call-in show somewhere. We'll be right back right after this. Before we get started, nothing in the show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else on the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. With that out of the way, I just want to let you guys know, if you're not getting notifications through any of the big daddy platforms, you can always go to our website, marfooglenews.com, where we actually have our own. You can get push notifications straight to your phone by clicking the red bell on our website, or by going and clicking yes, you would like to receive notifications. Normally I say, myself, I usually say, no, I don't want those, because it's usually from random websites. But if you want our show and our news here, then you should definitely say yes. You can also sign up for our email alerts. If anything super crazy was going to happen and we absolutely had 100% knowledge of it, we would email you through that system. So again, go to marfooglenews.com. Everyone knows we are coming up on a precipice, so please make sure you are notified. And then, of course, you tonight can follow along every article, every video, every tweet, every archived document that we have here tonight is going to be backed up on our website. When you go to marfooglenews.com, which again, we should actually refresh here, you will see it's organized by thumbnail. So when you see that, you can actually click on California, next, the whole world, and then you will be able to see all of the articles, and you can actually follow along. You can have a second tablet or a phone that you can actually read through. So if we only hit the headline, or you think we didn't cover enough of it, you can go read it yourself. At the very bottom, there will be the callers. So if you call in at 224-400-MARF and you have anything special, if you have a personal video that you took of a UFO, or if you have a document that just got or unclassified, we will be putting it there for the rest of the Foogle family to look at. And then on the right side, if you want to support us in any way, and if you see a product and you forget what it was or the website, you can go to the right and you can actually see right there all of the products that we work with are right there on the right side, including EMP shield, Nord, earthing, and smart meter covers, which we actually don't really talk about. So with that out of the way, let's introduce Dex. Dex is going to be updating the website live as we go. If there's any breaking news, we'll be putting it there. He will also be screening the calls at 224-400-MARF. And remember to push option 4. Dex, are you there, and can we do a sound check?
Hello, Adam. I am here, and hello, Foogle fam.
So you actually had your power out for several hours today. We actually would have been on much earlier, but you were totally powerless there.
Yeah, it was actually, we've had this happen a couple times, and usually where I live, it's not that often, and it's rare, but this year we've had it a few times, and we had a bad storm roll through, and apparently it was a big chunk of the grid went down where I am.
So in Atlanta and in Washington and in California, there's been all sorts of weird stuff going on just that we have personal experience with. But if you guys have experience, if there's something that your local news should be covering and is not covering, please let us know. You can go to marfooglenews.com and look at our contact section. You can email me, Adam, at marfooglenews.com, or you can email Dex at Dex, D-E-X, at marfooglenews.com. If you have a story you want to break through us, make sure to come to us first, and we will get it out to at least 40,000 people a day. Again, the options there are limitless. So we're going to get into the news real quick. I'm going to say hi to the chat real quick and say thank you guys for all being here. Zippy Moons, thank you for immediately coming in with Ninja Guineas and swiping in. Love you all. May we be blessed and protected with the full armor of God. You rock, Marf, Dex, and Mods. We've got Cries or Chris 2797. Thank you as well for the Ninja Guinea or being a ninja tonight. Baldy Locks Awake, Marf, Dex, Mods, and Foogle Fam are the best. Thank you, and say hello to Jen. I'm sure she's here tonight as well. Maui Racing Realtor, D-Live 420, Nosdick, Stiletti, Unicorn Forest, Derrickson. Derrickson, thank you again for your support. And then EMP Shield. Whoa! Thank you so much. EMP Shield, you know you don't have to do that, but I really appreciate it. I am sure that is Andrew. Thank you, Andrew, for your support, your personal support of my channel. I really do appreciate it. Soon, again, I hope that... I hope at some point we can. I hope at some point that people will understand how good of a company you guys truly are. I know that there's a lot of the Foogle fam that have already got your stuff, and again, they've had nothing but positive to say about you guys. Again, I think we're talking about precipices here. We'll get into that here later. We've got lots of EMP related news, by the way. I don't know if you probably already know. Daniela Baker, thank you for following. Robert Tauterus says, got supplies like you said in January, and it saved my fam. That was Robert Tauterus. Thank you for saying that. We, of course, said 10 months ago to prepare for a pandemic. Little did we know, right? Mark Sketch, thank you for being the last one out. And then Daniela Baker, again, thank you and welcome to the fam. If you see new names in the chat, as long as they're not trolls, welcome them. And if they are trolls, welcome them. Maybe they will turn into a non-troll. Okay, first of all, news coming out of the Sputnik News says, photo Chinese submarine spotted entering hidden cave base. Wow. Okay, so it says a recent satellite photo managed to capture a Chinese submarine entering a cave base on Hainan Island. It says at the northern end of the South China Sea. On Tuesday, a photograph of the sea outside of the Yulin naval base by private Earth imaging company Planet Labs captured an unusual scene. A large submarine positioned just outside the mouth of a cavernous Chinese citadel. So this is further proving my theory that they are building stuff underneath the cover of either caves. They are building a brand new navy that we don't even see yet. Of course, about 7 or 8 months ago, there was pictures that came out from a scout ship that was unclassified information. There was a scout ship that got tons of pictures of humongous amounts of ships being built and being built fast. This is the thing, the internet wants to confuse you and tell you all sorts of things about all 3 of the countries, and a lot of the theories say that they're all working together at the very top. They very well could be, but there's still the point that they above us, and I mean by they, I mean the people that run this planet, that are way above presidents and prime ministers, they do not see us as people. They see us as sheep, to be honest. Honestly, when you are at a certain amount of money, and this goes for any elites that are just incredibly rich beyond anything that us regular people can even understand. I'm talking like you have chump change to buy the Burj Khalifa building that's a mile high in the sky. That's your chump change. That's the kind of money that some of these folks have. In fact, the very top tier, they have so much money that it doesn't even make sense to us. In fact, we just had somebody from the Middle East die. I don't know if we didn't even cover that, Dexter, did we? There was a picture of the guy's house. There was many pictures. His bed was made out of gold. Everything in his house was gold. He had multiple garages. He had private jets. He had these stacks that you only see in movies of cash that were literally stacked in octagons of stairs of cash, and it was millions and millions of dollars. And people were like, what's going to happen to all of this? He had a room full of gold bars. One of these gold bars could pay our mortgages off. Like, insane amount of money. And it all comes from oil. It comes from the military industrial complex. It comes from dirty deals. It comes from all sorts of stuff. Or in the very, very rare case, which I would say 0.0001%, capitalism done in a fair way. I think there's very rare of those. I think to get above a certain level, you have to be somewhat messed up. So with this, again, this proves that they are building tons and tons of ships. What were you saying?
Yeah, and Adam, I was just going to say, I just realized this article doesn't show the actual picture. I put the Twitter link in the screener. If you want to show it, you can see where the door, what looks to appear to be the entryway, and the submarine underwater heading that direction.
Okay, watch. So check this out, guys. This is the entrance to a secret cave. And of course, this is something that I've been saying for over a year. Quantity beats quality. If we have a jet that can literally see 10 guys coming from 10 miles away, but they have 10 of them, how many of those can we knock down before those jets get to us? It's kind of like a UFC fighter. The best fighter in the world goes into a bar, starts a fight with 10 guys. He'll take out 5 guys. He might even take out 8, but at some point he's going to get outnumbered. That is what I believe their strategy is they are making broad numbers. They're making so many numbers, and they're recruiting people like crazy for the Navy and for the Air Force. They're training pilots that are literally, they're grabbing them. In fact, this is one thing I heard, that they're grabbing people out of the grocery stores that are doing bagging and training them as Air Force pilots because they want as many people as possible, and they're putting a ton of money into it. Of course, we know for a fact, this was said publicly, that Xi Jinping has told his military to prepare for conflict. Of course, the W word is a filter word, so you guys know what we're talking about. This is a rare satellite image of what appears to be a Chinese Type 093 sub at the entrance of a not-so-secret subterranean base at China's southern Hainan Island. Yulin Naval Base is home to subs of China's South Sea Fleet and provides convenient access to the South China Sea. So as you can see, that that thing is truly massive. When you look at that, the people are just so tiny. You wouldn't even be able to register it on this. It's 1 pixel would be a person. This is a ginormous sub heading into this secret tunnel. So this is what I'm talking about. They're building, this is straight out of a Bond video game from not 1964, N64. It reminds me of that area that they have in the game where, you know, it's those subs inside that subterranean bunker type thing. There's tons of these, and there's more and more coming out. They are mass building ships. They are getting ready for something, and don't let people confuse you whether this or that or... they very well could be working together and brothers and be meeting up in secret rooms. That's great. But guess what else is great? Making crazy amounts of money off of the industrial complex, which is the military. As far as throughout history, and history is repeating itself, you've had families like the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and all of these people make money and actually invest in both sides of a conflict. They'll literally invest in both sides because they're both buying weapons or this or that. Again, there's a lot of sayings that come from that era. History is repeating itself. It's happening right in front of us. The smart and logical are saying they see it. They see it right out in the open. It's pretty hard to miss what they're doing right here. So again, that is the underground, underwater base there. It says, securing against possible electromagnetic pulse attacks. Officials of the city of San Antonio, Joint Base San Antonio, other stakeholders, and the Region Municipal Energy Company are moving to protect critical infrastructure against potentially damaging electromagnetic pulse attacks. The efforts include a pilot program, related analysis, and a plan that addresses long-term operations in case of an EMP attack. It says the region is pursuing the comprehensive efforts based on a March 2019 Presidential Executive Order, EO 13865, coordinating national resilience to electromagnetic pulses. That was a quote there. It says the EO set policy for electromagnetic pulse preparation, directed entities to examine how to protect, respond, and to recover from such an attack. We've had Peter Pry and other experts come out right out in public and say that they are actually preparing for something like this or to perpetrate something like this in China. They have been working towards it. They have, by the kind of information that they have been taking from us, that's a very good clue as well. Infrastructure information, talking about how they had their drones basically mapping out our country. The thing is in some of the secret meetings, you have to understand that there's a certain number of these transformers that if they go down, that those specific ones, if you knock out all of them, you knock down the entire grid. Now, this was discovered and obviously brought to the president's attention, which I'm sure other presidents knew. I'm sure this was talked about before, but it wasn't such a massive, massive threat. So now they are looking at it. And then he signed an order saying we need to harden our grid. We need to do all of this stuff. That resilience report, the same one that made him do that executive order, that again is the one that we always talk about. It says, it is a policy of the nation to be EMP resilient, said Colonel Michael Apollo Lavelle, U.S. Air Force Executive Director, Joint Base Antonio's Electromagnetic Defense Initiative. So again, this is somebody in charge of that specific zone right there. It says organizations must also collaborate with other stakeholders, share threats, identify vulnerabilities, and conduct assessments. One thing I can tell you, and I'm sure any of the people we work with will tell you, that you can obviously see that they are not telling us all of it. They can't tell us all of it. Of course, you've got the NERC. We showed you that out of something like 487 actual events that happened to our power grid, only one was public. And then I think at the time that we reported that, a second one was just reported, and both of them were cyber. We're talking about cyber attacks, any number of things physically happening, people driving into transformers, people taking pops at transformers, people throwing stuff over. In one case, a hand grenade. We're talking about a lot of stuff happening to our power grid, and none of it is publicly put out. It goes to the Department of Energy, the DOE, and I believe, or I'm sorry, Dex, am I saying that right? The Department of Energy is the one who gets the reports, and then they are the ones that are not passing it on. Is that correct? Or it's not DOD. I want to say it's Department of Energy. Yeah,
it was the Department of Energy. They were not reporting the attacks.
And we showed you proof of that 100% in the NERC actual documents. And we provided that for any of you to go look at. In fact, Dex, we might want to actually look that up and try to link that again, because I think people need a refresher course on how much this is actually on the docket. This is being looked at every single day right now. They have whole departments dedicated to this subject. That's why we have been warning you and saying that this is a possibility. So with that, it says one of the threats is a geomagnetic disturbance, which will happen. There's 100% chance, he said. That's right. One of the threats is a geomagnetic. So this is a natural disturbance, which will happen. There is a 100% chance, he said. He says on average, there is a 12% chance per decade. It is 3 more times likely than a house fire. On the man-made side, a high-altitude EMP or a nuclear weapon can also be a threat. It is a low probability, but it has a major consequence if it actually happens. It says, in addition to Colonel Lavelle, the other panelists speaking at the luncheon included Lieutenant Colonel Eddie Thumper Stamper, Mission Director Fred Bonewell, Chief Security, Safety, and Gas Solutions Officer, CPS Energy, and Jody Little, Manager Information, Exploitation, Defense, and Intelligence Solutions. So this is obviously getting a lot bigger in the public's mind. People are starting to understand that we have a absolutely horrible infrastructure as far as updating it. That is now finally starting to happen. So we'll see what happens here. And then, of course, what EMS needs to know about EMPs. In the blink of an eye, every piece of electronic equipment in a large part of North America could be disrupted or shut down. What's the nightmare scenario associated with electromagnetic pulses? Well, caused either by an atomic bomb being exploded high in the atmosphere or a severe coronal mass ejection, which again, that is what they're saying is 100% chance because it does happen, like the September 1859 Carrington event that electrocuted telegraph operators and caused aurora lights to be seen over Cuba, which again, That doesn't happen. An EMP is a burst of electromagnetic energy that overloads everything from power grids to the electronics connected to them. Unconnected devices like smartphones and modern vehicles can also be put out of service, depending on the power of the EMP and the sensitivity of the electronics within these devices. The threat of a rogue nation disabling the U.S. using an atomic bomb is sufficiently serious that Congress established the commitment to assess the threat to the United States, and it says the threat to the United States from electromagnetic pulse attack in 2001. This was back in the days of the World Trade Center. It says attack in 2001. Its 2008 report concluded that there would be serious disruption, damage to the national power grid and telecommunication networks, as well as 911 dispatch and other EMS, IT, or Internet Technology Communication System, at a time when the need for EMS would skyrocket due to traffic accidents and other EMP-induced calamities. Some equipment needed to perform emergency services will be temporarily upset or directly damaged by an EMP attack, resulting in diminished capabilities during the time of the greatest demand. The report warned, quote, little, if any, emergency services equipment had been hardened specifically against EMP. So if you guys are not getting what this is saying, EMS, as far as our entire system of ambulances, everything that responds to emergency situations, it would all be down. You would be talking about every accident that happens just on a daily basis. We would not have the equipment to treat those. You would have an entirely new mess of things happening. It says the risks in context, the biggest threat from EMPs is running systems in use. It says particularly those connected to main power grids without adequate surge protection. This means radio and cellular systems. All of a sudden, we won't be able to make calls. You won't have internet. You won't have your unlimited data. It says this means the radio and cellular systems, computer networks, medical equipment, and vehicles with computer-aided control systems. Example, most modern cars and trucks could be temporarily disrupted or permanently damaged. The same risk exists with EMS helicopters, says Christopher Henson, an EMS pilot with Ginsinger Life Flight in Danville, Pennsylvania, a secretary of the National EMS Pilots Association. This is a direct quote. It says, the expectation is that most modern aircraft systems would suffer the same catastrophic impacts that most computer systems will during an EMP attack. The same is true for the air traffic control infrastructure on which these aircraft rely. This means EMS pilots could experience electronic malfunctions and even full system engine shutdowns during an EMP, as well as a loss of airspace management by air traffic control. So if you can think about how this is put into place, not only EMS, you're talking about every flight, every kind of modern aircraft that is flying around, all of this would be affected. This would turn into the biggest mess you have ever seen. No one would have cell phones. Nobody would have communications. The only people that would be able to communicate are possibly the ham radio operators, which we need more of. Again, we had groups in our Discord in every single state, and they were talking about this until Discord took our Discord down because of a small group of military. Again, that was not directed at us. That was directed at the group of people in there. And again, they're not taking any chances with what's going on politically right now. So that was pretty lame. Again, we are building a new system. We are trying to get our own form going. We thank you guys for hanging out in there, because we are going to need it. We're going to need more ham radio operators. We're going to need a lot more people in communications. Again, this is U.S. Air Force moves to protect the B-52 Boomer from an EMP attack. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing it right now? And why is there so much money being put into this in such a short period of time? Well, obviously that order did kick in. The U.S. Air Force, concerned about the capability of its equipment to withstand the effects of electromagnetic pulse, or EMP. EMPs are intense bursts of electromagnetic pulse, which can result from a high-altitude nuclear explosion. In the event of conflict, they use the W word, such blasts can be used to inflict damage on electrical and electronic systems of opposing countries. Currently, the U.S. Air Force is working to withstand a potential electromagnetic attack. The service conducted first electromagnetic pulse hardness testing onto the B-52H Stratofortress bomber at Tinker Air Force Base is part of the United States Air Force efforts to safeguard aircraft from potential attacks. So we're talking about even the crazy, awesome, super badass Navy and Air Force planes. These are susceptible to some of this. So that is why they are trying to outfit these things and retrofit these things to be protected against such an event. There is a lot publicly that you guys can access, that we've given you access for, that shows what they are doing. They just did a bunch of tests. They literally have been drilling like crazy, flying jets around without GPS because they are testing and even blocking GPS. There's actually public reports here that they are closing down GPS in certain areas so then they can do military drills without GPS. Now, why would they be doing that? Why would they order and even use eminent domain to take all of the night vision goggle tubes? In fact, people had orders, big companies that make these night vision goggles for consumers, they had their orders taken right from the middle, and they literally used eminent domain to grab these tubes. So why do they need all of these night vision tubes in such a hurry? Why did DHS need all of these bullets? Why did they need to do Jade Helm and all these other things? It's just a question you might want to ask yourself. Again, within this public sphere, they have talked about this so many times, and we've actually shown you. Let's see here. As far as the eminent domain night vision. Boom. FBI seizing night vision and military jamming GPS. I've shown you guys this over and over again, and I hope you guys actually pay attention to this. Again, this is one of the original articles. Again, right around this same time is when they ended up getting shut down for something else at the very beginning of something else that we had starting. It says the U.S. military carrier strike group 4 is jamming GPS signals. This was back in January. They are now, look at this. It started buffering the second I covered this. Isn't that funny? Okay, so you guys know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what they are doing. I hope that people end up absorbing some of this. It says, according to Major Avery Snyder, EMP program lead, increasing threats from around the world make these types of tests necessary in the interest of national security. It says, we applaud the B-52 program office and other supporting organizations for making this vital test possible. So, again, with everything that we have told you and everything that we have been looking at for the last 3 years, I hope that you guys understand. We have told you, even if you don't go through us, you guys should be looking at protecting yourself. There is a way. There's the same way that the military is protecting themselves. In fact, in that EHS resilience report, EMP Shield is, I believe it's the only name mentioned. And these guys have not only helped the DOD, they have not only helped military, they are also on the DEMSO team helping protect the Texas grid. EMP Shield basically grounds the signal before it can fry your device. You can get several different devices, but it also blocks against coronal mass ejections and all three phases of an EMP. If you go to marfooglenews.com/EMP, you can look at all the information. But even if you do not go through us, like I said, you can go through a different creator. You can go through somebody else. If you go through us, you help our channel and you get a discount. If you go through somebody else, you can still get that discount. And you don't have to believe us or whatever you want to go over. We've shown you the information. We've given you access to it. And I hope that people end up looking at EMP Shield as the company they are. They're Keystone tested, military tested, by the way, American made, and it's a veteran owned business. You can get one for your car, your ham radio, your solar system. It basically can protect almost every electrical device you can think of. Somebody made a comment the other day that said, oh, well, what good is it if the grid goes down? I would just go get yourself a generator. how's that generator going to work unless you have something protecting the generator? They literally said to buy a generator, which is fine because they don't realize that generator can go out too. Especially if the power of the blast is high enough. You can protect your generator, you can protect everything, and you should. Let's take the first call, Dex. Let's get, looks like we have...
Next up is Green Arrow. The other thing I'd say, Adam, real quick on the whole generator thing, even if you thought like, hey, I'm going to put a generator in a giant bag and shove it in the ground and I'll pull it out when I need it. If you think there's only going to be one EMP when it happens, they're going to continuously pop them off. So you need to be able to protect it at any moment later, right?
Yep. And so, it can actually withstand, they stop testing after 40, so it can withstand multiple. All right, so...
Multiple. All right, we got Green Arrow. Let's get Green Arrow on the line.
Green Arrow, you are live now. Let's see. Green Arrow. Do we have Green Arrow? And it looks like we'll get him.
Yeah, we're trying to get Green Arrow. There he is. You're live now, Green Arrow.
Green Arrow, you're live.
Hey, Adam. How's it going?
Good. So, Green Arrow, what is going on? And I guess there's not much here. It says 1 million archers. What's that about?
That's one topic I would like to discuss that I've been trying to get out to the Foogle fam. First of all, I've been here since pretty much day one. I didn't see your first video when you first started with your phone. I've been here in the Discord as soon as we started that and everything. Never called in before. I've been kind of on low key with that. But what I would like to get everyone to think about is if things go south here coming up in this next voting period, we got to have a backup plan. And I don't like to trust bang bangs, because if technology ever takes us over in a detrimental way, we're kind of screwed. But we can make bows and arrows out of anything. And I've spent a long period of my life training in combat archery, and it's something that's not very common. Most people use compound bows and everything else. But that's kind of what I'd like to get people inspired to do, and I kind of have a vision to start training centers in multiple states. Like if we could get a central, what I envision is if we could get a plot of land from somewhere, we could all invest. If your station grows or whatever, if we do it separately, a large center in a safe area in the United States to where we could utilize all Foogle fam members and train in different fields.
So you're saying, you're basically saying that as far as people getting, so say if, heck, you don't know if there's technology out there that if you hold a metal weapon, that they could literally burn it right out of your hand. In fact, there's technology that arguably I think could do that. Back to hot musket and the waves, the millimeter waves that they could use, they could most likely heat something up. So say you're trying to hold a weapon and it gets so hot that you can't even hold it. That is something that I believe they were working on even back as 5 years ago. So you're saying that we need to practice using back to basics, the old school ways like archery and like axes and like, handheld kind of
Yes, sir. Yes,
personal
sir.
protection.
That is unfailable tech. You go back to bows and arrows, I'll tell you what, if I had a squad of 20 people with regular archers and then some crossbows, whatever, say you're in a scenario and someone's attacking your situation after a grid down or whatever, it's going to be real scary when you have combatants using bang bangs. Here's another thing to bring up. Kevlar, it doesn't stop arrows. It might stop bullets, but broadheads will cut right through it. That's just the physics of it. So nowadays, the modern battlefield isn't prepared to fight old tech. We're prepared for a new war field. Excuse me, I shouldn't have said that word.
No, that's fine. But so an EMP wouldn't stop a bow and arrow. It wouldn't stop a spear. I think it's a great idea.
And if they're taken away from you, it wouldn't stop me from going out to the woods and making a new one, or going to the hardware store and buying a piece of PVC pipe and turning it into a bow. You can make millions of bows for nothing.
Well, here's the thing, though. The hardware stores won't be around. They'll be looted and they'll be empty. So this would have to be done kind of
I'm guessing a whole lot of people won't be grabbing PVC pipe.
That's a good point. Well, no, I don't know. If it really did get to the point where we had nothing, I bet you PVC pipe would actually be a very good building material. As far as think about if you had to, if you were out on an island, I would love to see a pile of PVC pipe. I mean, think about it. I think it's even floatable.
Yeah.
So no, I get what you're saying. And as far as bows and arrows, I think they're an awesome weapon. As far as people also should be looking into self-defense. Think about it. Your neighbor, your pastor down the street could turn into a home intruder if things go the wrong way. And this is what people will not accept. People will not think of the world beyond Instagram and cell phones and the informational tech and the Internet of Things. If that all goes away, people are going to turn right back into, the dark ages. It's going to be just like the movies portray it, only worse, with a whole lot more violence. That's what I don't think people are realizing. This is a real possibility. It's so real that some of the richest people in the world are buying places and buying ways to get to those places and keeping them on standby at all times. We're talking about 24-hour security guards and pilots waiting to take them to their getaways. So I appreciate your call. And again, with somebody for land and things like what you want to do, I think it's a great idea. I think we need to get bigger. I hope that people spread the channel and spread what we're doing here and the idea behind what we're doing. I hope that you guys all, bring in as many people as possible and make sure to share us and of course, like button and everything else that would get us suggested in the algorithm. So I appreciate you. Is there one more thing you want to say?
Well, congratulations to your new add-on in the family, first of all.
Well, thank you very much.
And yeah, I've been a big fan, dude, bro. Man, I love everything you do. I would like to kind of do my own thing, but what you're doing is so good that I'm just working to support it and want to help you in any way possible, because what you built is, I believe, is already changed history or changing the future. And I think we have something going here that no one's going to realize how important this has been, and honestly could have changed the course of the future.
I think that everything that you are doing at home, I think that everybody that is at home right now is changing history, and you don't realize it. There's tons of, it's a trickle effect, and it's a butterfly effect. Everything you do goes out in the world. I want to thank you for calling tonight, and I want you to call it back in again. Okay,
I would
Green
like
Arrow?
to say God. So sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish off.
I would like to say, yeah, thank you. I appreciate everyone. Get into archery, learn archery. I'll be doing more on Twitter. Hopefully I can get a YouTube started. I work full time, so it's kind of hard for me to get that going, but I will as soon as I can. Until then, I will be putting out information on Twitter regarding that. But the most important thing is, don't be afraid, anyone. We are all okay. God, Jesus has us in his hands. Believe in that, and nothing will touch you.
Well, great sentiment. And thank you, and God bless you. Have a great night. That was Green Arrow, you guys. When he does start a channel, we will for sure help him, as we've helped thousands of creators at this point. We've helped over 500 creators get to their first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we have continued to try to help even over on DLive as well. Merry Christmas 2.0. Speaking of awesome people, repent and be baptized in Jesus' name, Acts 2:37-38. This is the only way to heaven. Merry Christmas. Thank you for your support. Jay Roche, I believe that's how you say it, or Jay Roche or Roche, says, warning solar storm to hit Earth tomorrow at noon. That was from Australia. So I knew about the big solar flare that barely glanced us or was going to glance us. I don't know if that's the same one or if this is a new one, but I do know that we had a solar flare, a huge one, that would have caused us big problems if it hit. But the math on it looked like it was going to miss. So I got to look into that. Belkage, thank you for following. And as always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. That includes John Yells. Thank you for subscribing. If you see a new name in the chat, make sure to welcome him. Edmund Fleming, thank you, and says from Canada, good evening. Doc Bill from Canada as well says, in the 19th century, they lent money to kings and governments and funded both sides in the Napoleonic Wars. It says they once saved the Bank of England from collapse with their own money. That was John that said that. Thank you. And then Mary Finley, thank you for following. Liz LaMarche or LaMarche or LaMarche. Thanks so much for your show. It replaced Fallon. I feel so much more prepared and aware. Well, thank you, Liz. It's been awesome having you. I've seen your name for at least a year, I believe. Granny C, thank you for keeping us informed. Well, thank you. And, of course, thank Dex as well. Backwoods Ingenuity, live free, travel light, work hard. Much love to the Foogle fam, Adam, Dex, and Mods. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up, fam. Thank you for reminding people again. I don't do it. I always forget. But, again, if you like the content, if you feel like the time that we put into the show is valuable, I really do appreciate when you guys do that. It does matter. It's not like you're voting on something and it just goes into the wash. It helps being recommended to new people. So I do really appreciate it. And then any kind of engagement, if you want to set a comment below on YouTube, on DLive, of course, different system. So, again, thank you guys for the support on both. Mr. Summer Dunk got supplies, like you said, in January. That's perfect. Houses are being sold like hotcakes here in North Texas, says Mr. Some Drunk. Well, thank you for your support, Mr. Some Drunk. And I believe it's happening all over the place. Where are they going, though? That's what I want to know. And then we have Cool Ant, thank you for the lemon, Mindy's mom. We've got Jilly J, welcome new Foogles. Well, thank you. And again, thank you for reaching out to people. I'd like you to look into RFB new vid of signs. Jen Lay Awake, I will make sure to do so. Dixie Doe, Vango 54, Mary XX, Mersa 1, thank you for your support. Jilly J and Jen Lay Awake. Jen Doberman and I Love Beagles. It's been a minute since you've been here. Thank you. And then wait, hold on. SPSM says, watched you since your first video. Good job. I believe that is the first Ninjet this month. That's huge. SPSM. That is just ginormous. Thank you so much. Again, I don't know what your YouTube name is, but thank you. Again, if you can, if you've been here for 3 years, let me know. Star, thank you for, have you heard of Joseph Gregory Hallett? No, I'm not familiar right off the top of my head. A lot of the times I need to see a face. Greatest is Love, Andrea 22, Cheeky Lady. And then we've got World News. Thank you, World News. I appreciate you. And again, I hope you're creating your own stuff as well. Great stuff. Playhard 69 and BJ Blake. Thank you guys so much. M. Leonhardt, welcome to the Foogle fam. And Clayform 14, welcome to the Foogle fam. And April Saff, lots of love and prayers. Love Johnny Doom, wifey, and daughters. Christian Moore, need to walk in and vote. There are things conspiring and things to soldiers like you getting truth out. Shout out to my brother Douglas Moore. When you are putting out information and you're telling people, there's going to be people attacking you at all times. You have to make sure to stay positive and stay on the route. I'm sure that most of you guys will understand. People are going to attack me and they're not going to stop. So if you can see through that and you can have patience to come out from the other end, there are people that have been here for 3 years that have seen all of the attacks that have happened on myself, my personal family, my daughters. I appreciate you guys that have stuck with me no matter what. You didn't just believe crap. You went and did your own research and made sure to correct it or to confirm it. What I think that's saying, always trust but verify. Great saying. It says mysterious Ryanian ghost ships reappear in Persian Gulf after months of darkness. It says several Ryanian ghost ships engaged in illicit shipments of the country's heavily sanctioned oil have reappeared on radar system after months of silence, raising fresh concerns about the regime's efforts to skirt international sanctions in a bid to fill its cash reserves. At least 80 crude tankers have been sailing across the globe for the past year as, quote, ghost ships, a practice by turning off a vessel's GPS system to hide its movements from international monitors. And this practice is illegal due to the dangers of causing an accident in international waters. So you've seen some of the stuff that's been going on. One thing that really is fascinating, if you have not looked into, is some of the big ships that carry things across global waters. And I'm sure in the Foogle fam, we have some people that have been on these ships or have been crew on these ships. You actually have real pirates, modern day Somali pirates or other pirates that literally will come on with bang bangs and they will take over a ship and rob it basically blind. They will take it in and they'll scrap it. They'll do whatever. They'll take money. They'll take objects, whatever it's on there. Now they are outfitting regular kind of cargo ships with 50 cals, different defense system, flamethrowers. I'm not even kidding you. One of my buddies, he works for a private company that literally has coverage for the government. Like, he's got a clearance where they secretly are putting flamethrowers on ships, on the side of the ship. So, like, if a boat comes skipping up to it and they've all got their weapons, they try to throw an anchor or whatever, a Batman style hook on there. This thing will flame throw out the side of the ship. This is the kind of stuff they deal with. As far as these ships, these Ryanian, this is like the ships that we seized. Obviously, they're turning off of their transponders. They're trying to go under the radar of the U.S. One thing I want to say is look at this from multiple angles. The U.S. Has always basically stomped right on anybody getting money for oil that's not done in the petrodollar. So trading gold for it. I mean, look at Gaddafi. Look at all of these other people that have tried to sell their own stuff without going through American systems. They don't end well. And that's even more evidence in my mind that Ryan will not be around for much longer, or at least not as it is right now. They are trying to take that country out, and they're going to do it in due time. So that's my opinion, of course. Just want to specify that. If you guys have your own opinion on this, please let us know. And if you want to read the rest of this article, you can go to marfooglenews.com. And then we have T-Man says U.S. to restore all, quote, snapback sanctions on Iran. On Wednesday, U.S. President DT said he intends to restore all economic sanctions against which were reimposed in 2018 when T-Man accused Tehran of breaking the terms of the 15 nuclear deal. It says T-Man told the reporters at the White House he was sending U.S. Secretary of State, gosh dang. By the way, if you're new and I do something random, it's when I get tongue-tied and I just have to start over after a... And, by the way, I do not have to give warning. I could change it from cock-a-doodle-doo to something else on the random. Moving on. Mike Pompeo to notify the United Nations Security Council that the U.S. intends to restore virtually all suspended sanctions on Iran. Dex, what do you think about this whole thing with the boats and with what's going on with the snapback? Is this...
You know, it's not a coincidence, right? And it's obviously, we saw the peace deal. We saw other countries start to try and engage in the peace deal. We see countries try to push against the peace deal. And now, you know, of course, the one thing that I think T-Man's trying to do is align these countries that maybe don't get along with each other around the one thing they can align with, which is being against Iran, right? Most all of those countries don't like what's going on, or at least they're being positioned in a way where there's a struggle between them and Iran. So to continue to see this ramp up is logical. And then today, with T-Man coming out and making that announcement, that was his announcement in his press conference, was that he basically sicked Pompeo on him and said, "Hey, snap back all of them. Go hard, put all the sanctions right back on, lock them down as tight as we can." So it will be interesting to see how this progresses.
So this is the tit. We're going to see the tat. So we'll see what happens. We will cover it as we go. And then we have, of course, if you guys want to support us in a different way and protect yourself against being tracked or traced against your will, which, again, a lot of people think that's what's going on, you can put your stuff in a Faraday bag. This also protects against a lot of other stuff. This is an EDEC bag. It actually protects your phone from signals going in and any signals going out. Once it's closed and once that magnetic strip goes closed, your phone, your tablet, or whatever else you put in there is literally cut off from the world. It's kind of like a ship turning off its transponder. So again, you can go to marfooglenews.com/edec if you don't want to be contact traced against your will. Again, it's an easy solution. Savings code Marfoogle if you want to get 10% off. Toss Dare says, new drinking game. Every time Marf says, literally, I chug. Keep the fun in life, everyone. Literally, that is the coolest game I've literally seen. And you are literally going to be drunk after the show literally ends. Crazy Cat, thank you for following. Ghana79 Goona Bird, thank you and great job. Well, thank you. Lisa R. Hall, one of my favorite people in the entire world. Nice to be able to watch and see everyone again. Love you, Marf and family. You've made such a difference in my life. Lisa, I am so sorry. I've been so busy. I heard you were having phone issues and all sorts of tech issues, so I'm sorry. Lisa, I love you. Lisa is literally one of my favorite people in the world. She has literally been a part of the literally family for a while. Now I'm going to be paying attention. Maggie Kemp, love the Foogle fam. Prayers for us all as we help others know the truth of Christ and the evil of the world. Jesus Christ is the King and he's coming back. We were born for such a time as this. That was Maggie Kemp. Thank you. Roxy Lemon, when I call, it says you're not online. Huh. When I call, it says you're not online. 224400 Marf. It is 7:57 p.m. August 19th, 2020, and that is, of course, Pacific time. It is now 10:57 Eastern. We've got M. Leonhardt. Thank you for following as well. Welcome to the Foogle fam. Let's pull in the next caller. It looks like we have a new caller named Russell, talking about White House siege on September 17th until November 3rd. Whoa. We've got a list here. So, Russell, I'm going to ask you to come in when you can. I'm going to pull up this link that you have provided, and we can talk about that once you get in here. Let's see here. And then, let's see here. Over on D-Live, we have... Dixie Doe, Scrapulicious Mersa 1. Love the sacks and everything or nothing. Thank you for the lemons. I appreciate you guys that are dropping the lemons as well. You guys realize that adds up when there's a lot of you, and we really do appreciate the financial support. All right, so we've got Russell on the phone. What's going on?
Well, thank you for having me on, and I love your show. So, on September 17th, there's supposedly a siege of the White House, and that's going to be going on for about 50 days. And a while ago, you had mentioned that Mr. T had said that he won't be around for a while. And then that kind of clicked. Is that why? Is he going to leave there because of that siege that's going to go on?
Now,
you can,
just to
find
clarify,
it on adbusters.org.
Okay, just to clarify.
I'm sorry, what?
Just to clarify real quick before you continue, we did briefly cover this the other, I think it was last week, and this is a call from the same people who kind of did the Occupy Wall Street thing, and they are calling for people to come out, and we were trying to look at if this was real or not, but it does appear that there are people that are gathering and doing this on the 17th. So maybe that's why they started building the no-climb walls. I mean, they kind of did that real quick.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's what I was wondering, too. I'm sorry, are you there?
Yes, we're here. It's just a bit of delay. So, again, go ahead. You got the mic.
Yeah, no, that's all I wanted to touch bases on because, if that happens and they have all those people there for 50 days, that's going to draw a lot of media attention there. And who knows what other groups are going to go over there when they find out.
Well, again, we will see as it goes along. We've been watching this for weeks, and we've seen lots of little posts about this. Even my wife noticed posts around. My sister told me about a couple of that she saw. There are smaller groups that are kind of flooding into the big one. So people are buying tickets from all over the country to go. So we'll see how this actually turns out. It could be a whole lot of fuss over nothing. I would always try to be on the safer side. If you're in Washington, D.C., you might not want to be there for the 17th. Well, thank you again, Russell, for bringing this to our attention once again. And please call in again, okay?
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Marv.
All right. You have a great day. Mama Rock, thank you. Thank you for your support. Mama Rock, thank you for the multiple diamonds. That is really awesome. Jen B. Cox, so glad to something. So glad to be catching up. I've missed so much. Jen B. Cox, that's okay. It's every day there is new stuff. Kihaja Flygirl says, literally shouldn't have started this. Jack and Coke. And then Callie Kit Kat says, it's a lemon fight. You guys, you're lucky I don't have those like dinging bells. That would make this show just unwatchable. Grego2, Scrapulicious, Mercer1, Johnny Doom, Pootsy Woo. Johnny Doom, again, thank you guys for earlier saying what's up. And then Mama Rock, you guys are going nuts. Scrapulicious, tons of people in here. Priscilla, Stamper Love. And then we have... Hold on here. We needed that restream one. Let's see. Dex, if you could get me the restream overall chat link and put it in the, what do you call it? In the screener. I don't have that. I have 2 D-Lives. Okay, and then we've got Northern California lightning caused fires to explode in size. Move on, Vacaville. So with the fires, by the way, I just want to point out, we said exactly this before this. And when I say we, the Foogle fam collectively, we had 2 callers state this. This was a group thing. We all called it. That we believed that this summer there was going to be these fires. We said this 3 months ago, that this summer would be hotter than last and that there would be yet again another crazy fire in California and yet again way more rolling blackouts. And we're talking about turning people's power off. On top of that, one thing that I would like to cover just briefly that's a kind of unrelated but related in the same thing. A gentleman in the Hollywood Hills, some party dude, probably not the most awesome guy. He's probably an irresponsible prick, but he threw a party during the CV rules or whatever, and he threw these huge raging parties with music and all this stuff, and the local government said, we're going to shut your power off if you continue to do this. Well, he continued to do this. He did not comply, but what they did in turn is a civil human rights violation. They turned off his power. Do you agree with that, or do you think that no matter what he did, how do they have the right to turn off his actual power? That's power. That's something that we have a right to. I mean, come on. That's pretty crazy. You guys, I'll end up posting it later, and I did post it on Twitter. I think I was repeating Tim Pool. I think he was the one who tweeted it regular, because they actually did turn his power off. They talked about it for a while, but then they actually did it. It says lightning caused fires across northern and central Cali have exploded in size, burning homes in Solano County, sending flames towards the city of Vacaville and forcing evacuations across a wide area stretching from wine country to the Santa Cruz Mountains. Officials have ordered the evacuation of the western edge of Vacaville, a city of 100,000 residents, about halfway between San Francisco and Sacramento. It says the area of the Alamo Drive north of Internet and west of North Orchard Avenue, according to the Facebook post by the Vacaville. These words are just bleh. The Vacaville Police, the Vacaville Fire District. How many times do I have to say Vacaville? Has also ordered evacuations of Pleasance Valley Road, which lies west of the city, in the English Hills area north of the city. Literally. Flames could also be seen on the western edge of Vacaville early Wednesday, according to the KXTV TV reporter on Edgewater Drive, a residential neighborhood that was being evacuated by firefighters. The blaze threatening Vacaville was part of the number of fires constituting the LNU Lightning Complex fire, which burned more than 32,000 acres in Napa, Sonoma, and Solano counties. The largest blazes within the LNU Lightning Complex include the Hennessy and Gamble fires, which began in the mountains east of the northern Napa Valley and west of Lake Berryessa. At least 3 structures have been destroyed. So a lot of my followers on Twitter have actually been kind of talking about this out loud. A lot of them are in the area. We have a lot of Foogle fam in California. Is this personally affecting you? Do you have handheld footage of the fires? For tomorrow's show, I'm going to ask you guys, please get me that footage. If you have cell phone video, if you have any kind of video of the fires firsthand, send them to us. We will show them. And then we, of course, have fire resources spread thin as Napa wildfire explodes in size, forcing mandatory evacuation. So this year, again, it happened. Wildfires raged out of control across the Bay Area. Evacuations in Alameda, Santa Clara, Contra Costa, Santa Cruz, Marin, Napa, and Sonoma counties. The fires in Napa County exploded in size Tuesday, growing from an estimated 12,000 acres Tuesday morning to more than 30,000 acres later that night. So it tripled in size overnight. This is even bigger than what they thought it was going to be just 24 hours ago. It says Tuesday night near Highway 128, Berryessa, Knoxville Road, small fires were still burning on the hills. It was a remnant of an intense flare-up of one branch of the fire late Tuesday afternoon. So I'm praying for you guys in California. I hope that that you guys are able to get out in time. If there are folks that are in the evacuation zones, hopefully you won't be unexpectedly swooped up by a fire like, that one event. And, of course, it says, by the way, Dex, do you have family in California? Because I have family in California that are being evacuated right now as we speak. Do you?
No.
Okay, so For some reason, I swear somebody said that you had family or something there that was being evacuated, but maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Either way, if you are in that zone, I am praying. I've got my own family that is being evacuated from one of those counties, so I hope you guys get to where you need to get to safely, and I am really praying that all of your property does not get destroyed. Again, some of this stuff, doesn't get covered by insurance, and you can only take so much with you. And then, of course, we have your brain with a USB port in it. Elon Musk's Neuralink vision divides experts. It says, we are very far from understanding what's happening in the brain. Your brain with a USB-C port in it. That's Elon Musk's vision for a brain-machine interface, or a BMI. In a controversial July 2019 white paper, he claimed that his company, Neuralink, had taken a huge step towards building a scalable, high-bandwidth BMI system that would let the human brain stream full broadband electrophysiology data to a network using a combination of ultrafine polymer probes, a neurosurgical robot that sews them into the brain, and custom high-density electronics. This is factually crazy. It says a single USB-C cable provides full bandwidth data streaming from the device. The paper noted the device having been stitched, in theory, to your cerebral cortex. What I want to know is how many people they have tested this on. Is Elon doing tests on just regular Joes? They have the publicly out there kind of tests. Are they doing things in secret? These guys are ultra billionaires. Are they doing things that they don't know or that we don't know? Are they taking prisoners? Are they doing this or that? We don't know. That's one question I have to ask. How are you going to test this stuff?
The thing that gets me, Adam, is, and it's part of this article, is some of the scientists are saying, hey, this is bunk, right? Like the technology's not there. You can't do what they're saying. It's just going to pick up noise, et cetera, et cetera. So it gets me thinking, is this legit? Is it some sort of technology that that they're using Elon to reveal, right? Or is it really just a big showmanship of something for funding, and it'll eventually be nothing until they get there, right? Like, what is it? Because if it's real, then maybe they're the only people in the world who have figured it out. Or is it real and maybe they were given the technology to reveal, right?
I mean, think about it. If we not only have quantum computing, which if you've followed like the Geordie Rose stuff and all of these things that are coming out and data is doubling every single day. If we could connect that to our brain, this is like an evolution of sorts. I mean, being connected without a delay. So say you ask yourself a question, having Google in your brain, not even going to Google, just saying, what's 4 plus 10,854? Boom, done. It's a very crazy, crazy time we live in. And that's why some people think that this is end times. I mean, we're about to go into the next step of civilization if this actually happens. It's very crazy. Just think about this, though. Think about if humans were able to calculate anything instantly. Think about some of the smarter, the smartest people in the world that are smarter than us. Think about them with Neuralink. Nuts. U.S. Army developing self-healing and shape-shifting material for Terminator-style drones. Get out of here. I'm out here. This is done. Terminator-style drones? Are you kidding me? Oh, this is it. The U.S. Army is pulling inspiration from the popular film Terminator 2 in designing material capable of shape-shifting and autonomously healing. Made of polymer, the 3D printable component has a dynamic bond that allows it to go from liquid to solid. Are you kidding me? Not to take from another YouTuber. Are you serious? The military group foresees the innovation being used to create morphing unmanned air vehicles and shape-shifting robotic platforms. This is absolutely nuts. Nuts. And, of course, Facebook bans some, but not all, Q groups and accounts. It says Facebook says it will restrict the right-wing conspiracy movement, QAnon, and will no longer recommend that users join groups supporting it, although the company isn't banning it outright. It says Facebook said Wednesday it is banning groups that accounts associated with QAnon and a variety of U.S.-based militia and anarchist groups. So why is this related to this and this? Are they just like completely like mixed up? And did they go to a company meeting and they got blindfolded and they got spun a bunch of time and handed a bat? Are these people effing idiots? Like,
did you hear what happened at the press conference today?
Sounds like the beginning of a joke.
A reporter, actually, they've done this before. They sidestepped the issue and asked the president a couple of press conferences ago what he thought about a congressperson that was running and made it through their primary that was a follower of this, right? And he just sort of said, "Oh, that's great, good for them." And so they got direct today. They said, "Okay, what do you think of this Anon thing?" And are you? And then he's like, "Well, I hear they're good people and they like me, and if people that like me is a good thing." And they said, "No. They say that they're out fighting for XYZ," and I don't want to get into all of it. And he basically said, "Well, is that a bad thing?"
Okay, so I did see.
You gotta.
You know what's so crazy is
I missed. You gotta see it.
I was listening. I was trying to listen to the whole thing. I was posting as he said he was talking about the plasma trials ending, and then he went into that. I totally missed that. I was watching my 1-year-old, and I'm trying to juggle like 5 things. I had it on the phone, and I did not realize. I heard when he said, "This is the part that I caught," and he said, "Well, these people that liked, Donald this and blah, blah, blah," in third person talking about himself. He says, maybe, what did he say? Do you remember? It was funny. He goes, "I don't know. They definitely don't like me for what? My personality? It's not like it's my personality." It was not the time. That was when he was talking about it, right?
Yeah, that sort of sounds like it. But yeah, they basically asked him, and they asked him what he thought about it, and he just sort of brushed it off with a good political answer. And then they said, "Well, what we're hearing is that you're behind it, and that you're out fighting these
black hats
key people that like to drink certain things," and he goes, "Well, is that a bad thing? I'm here to help. If I need to fight things, then I'll fight them." And so he never admitted it, but he didn't totally dismiss it. So it was almost the perfect answer, I guess, just for no matter which side of the aisle you are on this.
I guarantee you that clip is going to be all over Twitter for 5 days. Well, it'll probably be there for 5 months, and people will go back to that clip multiple times. We'll see what happens. With that, what did you think of today's speech and the fact that he could not avoid it this time? We've just saw a couple days ago, and what do you think about the press actually asking now? For the longest time, they were not. Gone Girl 777. Again, thank you. Let's see here. All right. I'm going to need this. Thank you for the restream. I just wanted to make sure we were able to get that. Boom, boom. All right. Okay, wanted to make sure we head over to the YouTube chat. Let's see here. How many, by the way, Dex, can you do a roll call? How many people do we have in both platforms right now?
Yeah, right now there's approximately just over 3,000 on DLive and 3,700 on YouTube.
So we have close to 7,000 people in the live chat right now. Eeyore in Wonderland, Katie Sago, Teresa Portillo, ACDV, I love it. Welcome, by the way, all these new names. I absolutely love that there's lots of Foogle family members here. I appreciate you guys more than ever. Smoky Mountain Gal, Red in the Valley, bless you. Awesome. Angelina Roxy, we've got Bella Star Seer, Carrie, and then we've got April Saffel, AZ Artist. The Truth says Ohio is here. O-H-I-O. I don't see many IOs in there. John Hudson, Will Shaw, Susan Donahue, thank you so much for your huge support always. And then thank you for just being a part of the Foogle fam. James Woodhorse. We've got Melinda. We've got Come to Town. Mandy, Tall Drink of Water. Check Run Array. Susan Bettinger. Rhea Tuttley. Not for me. We've got One More Mom. Backwoods Ingenuity. Revo. And Herman F., what is going on? All of these new names. RJ Rowland, Zoe Moon. We have a lot of Ohio people in here. I love it. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do this. I'm going to put it up on I'm going to put it on screen real quick. Let's see here. We're going to wait a second. Nope, that's not the one. Let's see here. Boom, boom. Okay. In a second here, when it pops up, which it did right away. Roll call, folks. Where are you from in the world? No matter where it is, put it in the chat right now. Don't put any messages for the next minute and 30 seconds. That's a personal question from me. A personal favor. So don't put I love cheese or blah, 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 or whatever you're going to put. Put your state, country, wherever. Roll call right now. And then meanwhile, we are going to get our next caller in, and we are going to say thank you to Sir Burdick. Says Elon Musk, now the fourth richest in the world, not including the Rothschild, estimated $500 trillion. Are you effing kidding me? 500 trillion? I didn't even know that existed. That's never included, not like including the Bible in New York Times bestseller. Huh. Oh, I get what you're saying. That's a great point. Christian Moore says, I hope I didn't offend you. I've been here a minute, got people to follow. I meant truth speakers like yourself. And if not for the show, I wouldn't be awake. Oh, Christian Moore, not at all. At all. No, I did not take it that way. Doc Bill, Cloward Piven strategy is the creation of a political crisis leading to a guaranteed annual income. One, essentially the Cloward Piven strategy would lead to a complete control of citizens through socialism, communism. Crazy Cat, thank you for following. Toss Dare. Look at all these. Ohio, Menno, Marfooglesville, VTUSA, Cannon City, Colorado, Minnesota, Washington State, Indiana, Colorado, Titusville, Florida. Oh, man. All you Washington folks out here, too. Antonio, BX, Liz, what's going on? Missouri, Dayton, Ohio, California, Indiana, Gilbert, Utah, Montana, New York, Bellingham, South Dakota, Florida, Ohio, Michigan, Cyprus, Texas, Kentucky, Vegas. You guys are freaking awesome. This is on fire. Shoreline in the house. Is that Shoreline Washington or Shoreline something else? Virginia, Dungeon, The Moon, Cincinnati. I love it. Australia, Detroit, Michigan, Kansas. Oh, man. Represent, guys. That is awesome. Pluto. We actually have somebody from Pluto. I cannot believe it. All right. So to the caller, we have Survival Living, a.k.a. Central Florida Prepper, one of my favorite people in the YouTube creators crowd. He has actually done an awesome amount of informational videos, but not only that, he has different... I think you even have your own stuff. You sent me a survival kit with the fire starter kit that was awesome. Appreciation for the contacts through Discord and experience. What's going on? Survival living. Go ahead. CFP, you are live. Or survival living. Now you're SL.
Hey, Adam. How's it going, brother?
Hey, what's going on? So,
Yeah. So,
by the way,
CFP, man.
I just want to say I'm glad that you got through all of the other stuff. By the way, Florida was going through just all sorts of crazy stuff, and I was worried about just all of you Floridians. I think that's how you say it. Like you and Jay Stone and Florida Prepper and all of those guys. So what's going on, Survival Living?
Well, I actually called tonight, man, to thank you for a lot of different things. One, with the channel alone, man, when y'all gave me that first shout-out, the first love mom, man, to get me over that 1,000 subscriber mark, which it happened multiple more times after that. But, you know, I know that the Discord was taken down. You know, I did a video on that when you requested that YouTubers, you know, kind of speak out against that. And I want you to know that Discord help build communications. All right. I know you already know that. I want other people to know that when all this stuff came about here in Panama City, I live right outside of Panama City, but I work on Panama City Beach. And when everything went down, my phone blew up within minutes. People calling, texting, trying to find out if I was okay. I picked up the phone. We're on our way to work. My brother and I worked at the same place. He was driving, and first thing, I had WV on the phone. She's like, "Hey, are you okay? I heard about this nuclear explosion. Are you all right?" Well, all I heard was that. And, of course, being a prepper, I keep IOSAT tablets in my bag. That's the first thing I ingested while I was trying to figure out what was going on. And, of course, she sent me the link to the video that was floating around, running rampant. And as soon as I saw it, I called her up. I said, "No, we don't have." I mean, I worked at the power plant here in Southport, which is right here next to Panama City. It's a coal facility. I'm like, "No, that's true." I was able to do a live stream riding down the road trying to explain there was nothing. We had they're burning, you know, control burns. We do it at Tyndall Air Force Base all the time. And for some reason, though, you know, not many people really cared. They wanted the sensationalism that we were going through an attack. I don't know why. It's just, so the next day I went and put a video together trying to clear it all up, trying to show everybody where the nuclear facilities were in the Florida. We were nowhere near one. But yeah, I actually got a little heated on that follow-up video.
Well,
it's just
so
they had scared so many people.
So you do know.
Sorry.
So there was the woman, one of the women, and I don't want to say anything. Again, I actually meant it that day too. I commented on her video. There was a black woman who did a video that said this is happening, and a lot of people were sharing her video. I'm trying to remember her channel name. Again, I said whether true or not. I hope it's not true. I just said I said to her, I said, "You're doing great videos and this and that." I don't think she knew that there was no facility there. So one thing you have to know is, like, if somebody's sharing it, believing it, then I don't fault them as much as the people that know it's fake and they continually share it and say it's something this or that. Most people corrected themselves, and I think she did too. I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, she would have just said, you know, I guess it's not, you know, that's great. That did scare the crap out of a lot of viewers. I got so many emails, and I'm sure you did too, because you're a creator. I get how you were mad, though, because we immediately looked up. Even my wife was like, "There's no nuclear facility there." She even tweeted it. What did you, why do you think people want to do that?
I don't know. To be honest, I sit there, part of the truther community, and I do see where people are just trying to just grab hold of anything for validation. The fact is, we don't need validation. We know what's right. We know what's going on. And I feel like there's a lot of misguided information being thrown out just to get, one, YouTube growth, two, just to get the sensationalism of it. We don't need fake information spreading around to try to prove ourselves. One of the reasons why I have people go into my prepping channel is because I'm down to earth. I tell the truth, and I show what really works and what doesn't work. The sensationalism that, hey, look at this, you got something blowing up here, And then when you have, and I'm not here to talk bad about the person. I did that in the video. I didn't name their names, but I was pretty upset with them. Mainly because when I actually commented on their video, they removed me and come back sitting there saying that I was a lizard, reptilian, federal agent and everything else, trying to slander me. And I'm like, I'm just a redneck in a Tahoe. But anyway.
Well, now you know how it feels. Yeah, no, I get you.
But yeah, but I wanted you to know that what y'all built, Discord, everything, that got information to me within minutes. And I was able to look at what was going on and, verify that, hey, nothing was going on here, because I had thousands of texts, not thousands of phone calls. I had a handful of phone calls, but a whole bunch of emails trying to figure out what was going on. People were actually scared. And then to come out with a second video saying that we had a stay-at-home order, lock up your windows, hide your kids because of the chemical radiation. I'm like, no, you are just running with stories, and we don't have that here. But stuff like that. Luckily, with the connection that we were able to make with Discord, we were able to stop a lot of that, because people were looking for answers and they weren't getting the truth.
Well, so again, part of that is people get really mad if they report something and you correct them, or even if you go slightly around what they said. And it's actually kind of hard. You have to negotiate it when you're on, you have to negotiate yourself around. As you grow in things, there's bigger YouTubers that you might offend. So say you don't even see their video. You don't even know what they're saying. They say, oh, well, this happened. Then at the same time or the same day, you report, hey, we looked up this and it's fake. Then all of a sudden you're hurting that person's reputation. And this person might be somebody you like and you respect. So it is kind of hard, but I do feel like anybody can say, well, no, that's not really what happened because it's a conspiracy, or, oh, well, Florida, they covered it up. They want you to think it was a controlled burn. In this case, it actually was a controlled burn. In fact, it's happened several times. And I had people that were in that city taking little underneath the smoke pictures of it, and you could see it clearly. It's purposefully putting stuff out there that hurts all of our reputations when they do that, and that's why we have these crappy reputations. But as far as some, that person, I don't think, they got offended at you when they should say, well, I apologize, or this or that. I don't get why people go to negativity right away. But it's because they went out public and said it's this, and were 100% gung-ho without waiting. And that's good for YouTube, but it's not good for long-term YouTube, because people, they won't, they'll stop checking out your channel.
I completely agree with you on that.
Well, thank you, Survival Living. Again, do you go by a name on your show though, other than that?
Yeah, I still go by CFP.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, the channel is Survival Living. Usually I always say, hey guys, CFP here, and this is Survival Living. It has stuck with me from being Central Florida Prepper. Everyone still calls me CFP, so we just kept it in there.
Okay, I'm glad. I'm too used to calling you Central Florida Prepper to change, but thank you, CFP, and you have a great night. Yeah,
that's quite all right.
And thank you for calling, okay?
All right, brother. You have a good one.
All right, you too. You guys, make sure to head over to Survival Living. It's pretty easy to find. He's got the mask here as his picture. He's at 3.9. I bet you when we click again, he's going to have over 4. Hopefully, a lot of you went over. He's got good, reliable information. He is a really, really nice guy, and he's incredibly smart. 3.95. Go over to his first video. Go to, let's see here. Prepare now before the power goes out. See, he's on top of it. He knows. We'll go to this one, and I will say hi on here, and then we'll check in on at the end of the show. We'll make sure that he passes 4,000. That's a big number. We could get him to 5 easily. Let's see here. What's up, Foogle fam? You can watch it live and then go and be like, oh my gosh, there's a comment. Foogle fam. Booyah. I wish enter was enter. There we go. Boom. Okay. Bam, bam. And it looks like 4.03 thousand. Just hit 4,000. Can we get them to 5 before the end of the show? I bet we can if we really tried. Again, his link will be on our website, marfooglenews.com. All right, let's, first off, you guys, if you want to protect your computer just as much as you protect the rest of the stuff, you guys should be looking into getting a virtual private network. Also, as far as getting information out, if anything goes down, you might have to put yourself somewhere else to get information out of the country. So again, go to NordVPN. It can protect you against data logging, people getting in. It adds an extra layer of protection. If you are using public wireless internet, if you're going to the coffee shop and using your laptop, 100% you should have a VPN, because then when you actually hook up to that public wireless internet, it will not be you exposed. It will be your virtual private network. Again, you can get a huge savings on their 3-year plan if you use the code Marfoogle. That's the biggest savings of 70%. I believe it's just over $3 a month. Huge. And then all you have to do is turn it on and off. It's on up to 6 devices, so your laptop, your phone, everything. Protect your phone most of all. People can be right behind you in the elevator taking your information. Stop them. marfooglenews.com/VPN. Okay, let's pull on the next caller, and I want to go shout out. Thank you guys for all saying your state there. That was awesome. We have, let's see here. Man, so many folks in the chat. One More Mom, Becky D, Julie Brush, what is going on? Rick Ramon, had it before the code. Oh, I'm sorry, Rick. I don't know if it runs out anytime soon, but you can reuse it. Tim T, Brad Whitlock, Bread. My name is Bread. Hello, peanut butter. Gold Coin says, hello, Mod and Mod Rally here. California says Dragon Flavor. I missed the, it goes by so fast. It's like I'm watching my little one grow. Janet Mays, or Janet Maz, Susan Grant, Jameis Shepard, or Jameis. Enigma, I haven't seen you here in a long time. Cindy Akron, Kenny Oldham, Margaret Arnold, Donna Wheeler, Vango 54, Red 1967. JV, watch out for September, October. We might see something biblical. According to Bible Times, it's coming, the Feast of Trumpets. We might see the hail and fire mixed in with the blood. That's hopefully not. Cindy Akron, has anyone noticed the sky at night? It's much darker, like black. You can see more stars, which is awesome, but the darkness is creepy. I'm in Marysville, Washington. So you're in the same state. One thing I've noticed is the 2 planes flying around. My wife has noticed them. They fly either right next to each other or right behind each other, and it's been daily for a couple weeks now. My wife and I have seen them in the day, at night. It's very odd. You never see... You always see multiple planes, but we're talking like where they could throw stuff at the other plane. They're that close. They're not jets, and they're not commercial jetliners. They're right in the middle. It's weird. Sunlight Suckers, man, haven't seen you in a long time either. You were on our show, 2 years ago? Wow, crazy shout out. Good to see so many people woke. Way to go, Marf. Everyone, buy a printer. Truth is out there, and you'll have to work for it. The rabbit holes are deep, and the time is short. Put on paper Easter to reference. Sunlight Suckers, thank you. Barefoot Lass, thank you. You can always write a message. And then let's get in this last caller. We've got, looks like we have Herman. Is that right? Am I wrong? Let's see here. No, Methuselah. First-time caller talking about 4 horsemen and geopolitics. Which counties? Methuselah, you are there and you are live from Michigan.
Hey, how you doing, Adam?
What's going on? You can call me either. So what are you talking about the 4 horsemen? That's That's a scary subject.
Yeah, so I guess I'll start by saying, I want to thank you and Dev for running such an excellent podcast and giving people a voice.
Absolutely. So, I guess when you're talking about the Four Horsemen, what do you think? Do you think we're there? Do you think we're in end times?
Yeah, so basically, Methuselah died at 696 years old, and he was the oldest man that walked on the earth. And if you're familiar with Revelation, it says, "Let he who has wisdom count the number of the beast, because it's the number of a man, and his number is 600 6. 60 actually means 90.
So keep going.
Sorry. Yeah, so I heard Enoch speak, and I don't hear voices, but he said, "You are now Methuselah." And then I was like, where's the thunder? And then I heard the thunder, so I guess that was the pause. But yeah, that made a lot of sense to me. And since I've been able to basically figure out what's going on, it looks like the first horseman is riding, and that's like the Lamb. But the first is the last, and that's seriously going to apply with him. So I'm not even going to get into him right now. But to get right into it, the second horseman is the red horse, who comes with the sword, and he takes peace away from men so that they begin to kill each other. And I think we're going to see that with the Democratic the donkey insurrection that Joe Biden and a lot of people are planning on pulling off on New York, it looks like. And it looks like the timeline is going to be from September and November. Those are going to be the big months. With October will be, I guess, a little bit cooler than that. So we'll see the riots turn violent, and we'll see people basically acting crazy. And the third horseman, it's a black horse that comes with the scales, and he demands a penny for the barley, a penny for the wheat. See that thou heardest not the oil or the wine. Well, if you believe the prophecies that people are seeing, and we have the proverb in Israel that another word. We have the proverb that every dream will come true, and every vision, the effect of every vision will be made manifest. And that's a proverb that applies to the days of the arm of the Lord. That's also the first horseman, and when he's on earth, that means that the day is at hand. So the third horseman is basically the economic crisis that we're witnessing right now, the devaluation of the dollar and the hyperinflation. We're witnessing this coin shortage. It's getting pretty rough in L-Town in Lansing, where I am, with coins. And word is that they're going to go after ones and fives after that. The banks are going to be, the U.S. Mint's already decided, and they're going to be trying to get this done pretty quick. And in the calamity, I guess Trump is going to vanish when they pull this insurrection in New York, and they're going to try and take over a Trump Tower. And that's going to lead the way for the complete destruction of the U.S. dollar. And all we'll be able to afford, if this is true, is gas and booze. As in, see that thou heardest not the oil or the wine. Then we have the fourth horse, which is the pale horse. And the reason it's pale is because it's dead, but it's still riding. So the resurrection, the first one, it's actually going to cause the four divisions of the dead spoken of in Enoch to rise. One of them is Eden, and in Eden is Jerusalem. This is also found in Enoch, but the courtyard of Jerusalem has been open to the Gentiles for 42 months, which is kind of where the term comes, blessed are the dead who die in Christ from this point forth, because they'll literally have nowhere to go but Eden, which is going to be up with God and up with heaven before they get unleashed, per se. So the pale horse represents the mark of the beast, which is the opposite of the Ark of the Covenant. We're actually living in a giant image of God. It's the body of Christ. I don't know if I can get into that exactly right now,
it's
but
basically
the mark of the beast is What? Excuse me. Did you have a question?
Well, no, I just wanted to make sure you. Yeah, no, it sounds like you actually need to start a YouTube channel, because I know a lot of people would love to hear all of it. But no, I just want to make sure you realize we do have a time limit. But no, I'm following along just like everybody else, so I'm listening.
Okay, for sure. And yeah, I am working on that. I'm taking every means I can right now to expand, my understanding and my ability to get it out there. But so the pale horse, the problem with the mark of the beast, death and hell follow behind it, is the people who take it, like I said, they won't be able to go to Eden if they do die, in the events that are going to follow after November. And the three divisions of the dead that are darkness, not the fourth one that's light, they're going to rise to the surface, which is the breaking of the veil. It's very similar to when the veil ripped when Jesus was crucified. This is akin to like the two witnesses dying for 3.5 days. And when they come back, we have 3 days of darkness. Is also similar to the bride and the groom, because when the groom gets back, the 3 days of darkness begins. It's also where the quote, "Blessed is the song of Moses and the Lamb" from Revelation comes from, because the Lamb is actually going to lead everybody out of Babylon. And he's going to make the way of the Lord straight. So when the 3 days of darkness happens, that'll be the first of the 7 plagues reoccurring as they did in Egypt. This is the Israelites leading everybody from all around the world. That's why they were scattered. They're going to be leading them to the Mount Zion, and the Lamb's going to carve that out, chuck it across the planet.
If you can, though,
into the Northwestern Passage, which I
we might need
will
to
still be in the north.
We might need.
I know that's a lot.
I know, but we might need to break this up into multiple calls, just because we are trying to keep under the 2-hour time frame. Again, if we can, though, if you can go over that list next time, all of the words you have said, essentially, when those add up, what Google's algorithm does is it literally has like a meter, and then every time you say T-Man, every time you say every time you say Zai, every time you say this, it basically does this, and then all of a sudden that creator gets deleted off of YouTube. So again, every episode is looked at. I've taught many YouTubers this, and the system we use, people go, well, he says it, and he says it all this. Again, we've got to watch the words we use, otherwise the meter gets tipped, and then all of a sudden we go back this way, and then all of a sudden we don't have a platform for people like you to speak your opinions.
That what's the word, strengthens everything Dex told me, and I didn't actually realize how hard it would be to self-censor.
I know. Trust me, I do it every day. I have to do it every day.
Oh, man. Well, thanks for doing it.
Well, so, and by the way, because every time this kind of situation happens, I would love for you to call in again. It sounds like you are very knowledgeable. You've looked into this a lot. We can come up with keywords that everyone knows the meaning of, so it's basically just like saying that. You said some that I believe we haven't even, talked about. The Z word. Obviously, there is a huge group that they have looked at, and anybody who says that Z word, the place in Babylon, they have attached and attacked anybody who says that word, and that's a filter word. All these filter words, right? So we need to come up with a solid system. Again, just like Dex has, we actually have a list of all of the words and then substitutions. So people say, oh, you should make a list so everybody knows. We actually do. It's on our website, and we let you get it. It's very hard, but here's the thing. This is the most important thing. We are fighting algorithms right now, and that's why we do it. People go, well, that YouTuber says that word 50 times. Well, that YouTuber has paid lawyers to get back on YouTube several times, or is part of a multi-channel network, which we are not. People have accused us of it. A multi-channel network is basically you got somebody that talks to YouTube directly to get you back on after you screw up. We don't have that. We don't have any protections except for ourselves. We are truly independent, and we are fighting the biggest beast ever. So I want to say, as far as the Four Horsemen, again, this is a broad subject. We could do a 2-hour show on this, but if there was something that you could sum up in about a minute and a half, could you put it together and
I
kind of what you're stating?
Yeah, I think I can give you guys the last revelation that I had prepared without saying the keywords in about that amount of time. I can tell you guys about the beast. So I do want to do that. That's cool.
Okay, go ahead.
So there's the four-headed leopard, the three-headed eagle. Ezra goes into that a lot. There's the bear and the lion. And I'm saying that the lion is America, the bear is Russia, the four-headed leopard is Asia, the UAE, the UN, and the nation that is real. And then the three-headed eagle are the three empires that conquered the planet in their day. One of them will be destroyed by the Lamb. But the first two are Egypt from Horus, the eagle-headed man, and which conquered the planet with Nimrod. And then the second one is Rome, the Empire of Rome that reigned through. I checked that out. That they really did conquer like the whole planet pretty much. Anyway, then you got the United Nations, which is the third head of the eagle, and when they all rise together after their during the first resurrection, it'll be the seven-headed dragon.
So, again, I think a lot of people are going to say, so what is currently going on is obviously revelations written all over it. I want to thank you for calling in. You definitely need to start a YouTube channel, because this is something that you're going to have to literally teach and show people, physical teaching methods. You're going to have to show pictures and try to give people references. As far as revelations, it is happening right now, and a lot of people that follow it know 100%. So I want to thank you for calling. I am not an expert on Enoch. That is the one I know people are going to go, you haven't read Enoch? I have not read Enoch yet, no. My sister has, and family member. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to. I know that a lot of people have said that is the one part of the Bible that was taken out. What is your opinion on Enoch, people? Put it in the comments below. Methuselah, I appreciate you calling in. Again, please call back again. You can, about 5 days a week, so... appreciate you coming on and putting out.
I'm sure you guys will be hearing from me.
All right, please do. All right, thank you so much. Have a great night. All right, let's see here. I hope people understand that too. We do the thing we do is because we are truly independent. I cannot say. There's so many people that I see them comment and say this and that. They just don't get it. People want to clown on us. They want to say this or that. You censor yourself, then you're... We have grown to 250,000 people. We reach at least 40,000 a day. And we get out so much information. We bring people to the website, which then further, they have access to tons and tons of information. And that is because of the system that we have put in place. Other channels, they've been at the same count for 2 years. And that is because they say F you to the man, they're flipping everybody off, but that doesn't really get you anywhere. Multi-channel networks, they have it. Multi-channel networks, you'll know because they all have, they'll all do the same gold company, or they'll all do this. And I'm not hating on any of the, I have friends that are with multi-channel networks. They're all with pretty much the same one. If they're right-leaning, they're with one company, that basically does all of the gold company, the whatever you call it, that gold company that everybody does videos with and has them on as guests. That's a multi-channel network. Again, we don't have that. We don't have that protection. If we get taken off, there's nobody that's going to bring us back on. We're just gone. That's what's really sad about being independent. That's why we're in the process of building our own platform. That's why it matters that you guys support us. It really does. You guys think that you're just supporting us to go sit high on the hog. We're not. In fact, people don't understand that YouTube takes 50% of some of the stuff. Then they take 30% of every super chat. DLive now, instead of 9%, now takes 30% as well, or 25%, sorry. And then tax takes the other chunks of percentage of that. We are trying to start an actual legitimate agency, which is going to require a ton more. And to require a ton more, and to even ask for that, we need more people working for us. To have more people working for us, it's a cycle. We are trying to, we're very transparent. We're trying to be a news business. We are trying to get out there so we have protection, so we can say what you want us to say and be protected. Because guess what? You're only going to get this narrative or that narrative. And it's very scary that this in the middle is disappearing. They get rid of us or they get rid of anybody. That's why I say, even if I don't like a YouTube creator, I literally could not cheer. Even if the person I hated most took off of the platform, I will literally stand up for that person. We need to stand together because we are all going to disappear very soon. So please support any creator that you see speaking their mind, even if you don't agree with it, because it matters more than anything right now. We need to come up with a couple more code words, because I guarantee you there was a couple on there, and people don't understand the full physics of it. We've taught other YouTubers how to get around this as well. We are helping other creators get past these things so they can continue and grow and to spread their message. And we get crap. People call us all sorts of names. People call us feds, this, shills, whatever you want to call us. That's fine. But we're still growing and we're still bringing people in, and we are still getting your information out. 4 people a day, 5 days a week, get whatever they want off of their chest. That's a lot more than a lot of the other ones can say. All right, and then we have helped over 500 channels get their wings, as you can say, on YouTube. We've helped over thousands of creators just in general. And we did create groups in every state, but they took that away. So now we have to rebuild. They can take us down, but we get up again. Dex, anything to say as far as...
Yeah, man. You know that the last caller is a great caller. It's a struggle.
Wanted
it's
to make
a real
that clear.
Struggle with some of these conversations, right? And I talk to them beforehand, and like you said, we've got our cheat sheet, if you want to call it that we help people. But it's tough. You have a very good talent because you do it all the time, and it's really hard for others. So
I know
they want to. They really want to.
But people take it as I don't like that person, or I don't. No, I have to. I have to
awesome.
Manage the show.
Awesome.
I have to literally watch out for the entire Foogle fam. People don't get that. There are people that depend on this for their purpose. So we have to be very careful. Otherwise, everything underneath me topples. So. You guys, I hope you get it.
Great show, brother.
Dixie Doe, I call you family. West Coast family, thank you for the resub for 1 month. And now you're on a streak, so thank you. Son for You says, no apology, protect what you have built for us all. I really, really appreciate that you guys get it. Again, we don't have a multi-channel network. We don't have somebody we can call. In fact, when I hit 100,000, you were supposed to get... Remember? I talked about it for... months. I said, when we hit 100,000, we'll get a personal person at YouTube we can call, because that's verified. I got my one plaque from Marfoogle News, and they just ended that program, so there wasn't an actual person you can call. They also, if you had any kind of thing happen right at 100,000 on this channel, we got a copyright thing from a storm chaser that accidentally ended up in this box after we watched a video we had permission for. The guy is extremely left-leaning. Somehow, 2.5 years later, saw a 2-minute clip of his storm video on there, and instead of like saying, hey, take this down, or claiming the monetization for that video, he just said, strike. Boom. Strike him. That gave us a strike, which means I can't even get my plaque for Marfoogle TV, because if you had anything, and it was right at 100,000. That was so lame. That plaque is just a piece of plaque, right? But it meant a lot to me because we worked really hard to get where we are. We didn't get a free ride. We grinded every 100, every 1,000. You guys brought them in, so I thank you guys a lot. But we put in hours. Anywhere from 8 to 12 hours putting together the shows. So I appreciate each and every one of you for coming every day. I cannot say that enough. A lot of people don't mean it when they say that. I mean it. I mean it 100%. I see every name in here and I think of the people that are behind that computer or behind that phone. You guys matter to me more than anything in the world. With that being said, it is now time for a shoutro. Rock-a-Party JD, Alan Morrill, thank you for following. Lawrence Lozier, Malaki 13.8, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. Who and when did JC ever save anyone, just himself? Only few survived every time, never saved any of them? I don't get it. Susan Donahue, dear Foogle fam, keep your vibe high. We were born for this time. We are #Team Humanity. Barefoot Lass, thank you so much for your support. Sunlight Suckers, Goddess, all of you. If you're new, it is officially time for the shoutro. It's not an outro. It's not a shout out. It's a shoutro. It's where I say thank you to all the people that matter. You.
They wanna cage us, they think we're brainless. They want us nameless, just a number on the main list. It's so heinous, they enslave us in broad daylight.
JV, Cindy Aqua, Sunlight Suckers, and the rest are on. Jimmy John, got a slip rock. Remember, memory trigger. Going back, got to go. Got a background, and you got to know. Everybody want a Jimmy John. Got a sleep by Merry Christmas song. Thank you, everybody that was here tonight. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. We're going to kick it up a notch and say thank you to each and every one of you, including our top contributors on D Live tonight. Much appreciated. Got the Cindy Akron, Sunlight Suckers, and everybody more. We in that daylight, Wendy Louie, Paul Shaggy, Stamp of Love, and UFA. Coming back round, J.R. Roche, coming back, no, everybody know, put C. Ooh, and that karma is here, ooh, coming back round, and we not off fear. Hey, Red 1967 and Yosemite Scar and Neffy. But you wanna Paul Shaggy and the Wild and two Love Bugs, and everybody do. Hey, hey, hey. Sniper Atlantis, going with the global impact, bros to the moon. Everybody wanna Pagan 13, and we Depot with the swoon. Lady Green Eyes going back home, and everybody wanna know. Don Cat with the Donegood, and everybody already know. Australian impact, and everybody wanna get at that. Somebody said crescendo. Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I
crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse wrong. Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. Got the cable guys, Chicago artist, rose to the moon and the peaceful waters. Got the softball mom and everybody knows it's Tinkerbell that smells like roses. Gotta go back and do them now. I'm about to go Danish girl and wow, rock for life and a unicorn. Got that unicorn in a hole. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse wrongs. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse wrongs. Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. You've got them special people going out there, Dottie V and Annoy B. Gotta go back and you know we all gonna go say and you go where can be O and the rest is I. Going back round in the lobby guys. Gonna be down like the comments scare. Rachel 420. Lips wrong. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse wrongs. SPSM is the top contributor with a crazy, wazy, razy ninja. Holy moly, poly woly. Something like that. SPSM, thank you for being tonight's top contributor. And of course, Luna Soul, huge, absolutely huge support tonight with over 8,000 lemons. Incredible. MRSA 1, thank you for being in third place. I appreciate your support. Tonight there was a long list of people that are right behind it. Lilithus, Kelly 2334, Weezer Wheeze, all for him, Gone Girl 777, who is also on our all-time list. Absolutely amazing. Marfoogle News, Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News, Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. Jenny Maris, only news you use. Thank you for being here. Oh, do 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 do. Everybody really wanna go back with Grand and Raven and Grand Raven's gonna go, and now you know I'm gonna go. I'll rock for life, detail, thumbs up, love DP and everybody up. Oh, wait for the fall and we saw all. Gonna bring it all down, gonna make that sound. All Jackson, the Chili J, Boogie Lock can be found online. Johnny Doom and the MEP and that Jam Jam and that 11B. Don't juice, I'm gonna say it now. Hey there, Johnny Doom. Hey there, Rose to the Moon. Hey there, go back and you will flow. I got Rose to the Moon and Dixie Dome. Ho, 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 ho. I love that love. Da 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 da. Apocalypse wrong. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse wrong. Stephen Dunn, thank you very much. Kenny Crowder, I appreciate you. And of course, Chili and Kay. My window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse wrong. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse wrong. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse wrong. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse wrong.
Ah, nah. Oh, yeah. We got CJ Blaze up in the house. I love Beagles. Dan Wilder. Oh, yeah. Ah, coming back, wow. Gotta do it up now. Miss Maya. Going back now, a smiler. Going right by her. Oh, gotta cool it in the global impact. Gonna do it away just like that. Bye, Felicia. Gonna hit it. Gonna take that star that'll win a broke t-shirt. Your farm number 2. Gotta go Shelly beans and rice and yes you. Lindy Cash, 1 MP. Able bodied, gonna go back 3. Like Checkerwa, Stampin' Love, KC, H3. Gotta be everything with the Lisa Renee. Really gonna save with me. I love it.
Outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there.
All right.
Looking outside.
We're gonna do it all good tonight.
Seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. We know the facts, we know the big man's coming back. We know the truth. Bam!
We gonna make a fresh one tonight. A fresh one for the people in our top living. Top living and list. Susan Donahue. Oh yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. Let's do it. Make a song from scratch. That's what we say. Oh, the presidential song. Okay, there we go. I gotta turn off the thing, you know? Speed it up a little bit. gotta do it from the heart. You know. You just gotta do it from the heart. I don't know why it just never works out live. Get out! Stop it! You know, just get out of here! Get! Just go and get! Just go and get! I just don't even get! I say! You get! You go! You go! You get!
easy fall and free bird gets it all the way back down. I know that surplus rappers got the cowbell. You've got the red. Texas rock goes all the way and makes friends roll going down there, gotta say. And everybody knows I love Beagles, goes all the way, all the way. But I left and the cable guy and Johnny Doom. I've got to say, Kathy Wyatt and they knew you. I like the way it's a great riding now. Julie Bush and everybody down. With Doris White and the Johnny Doom, Boris and everybody knew that Frank Rory and Becky D love Beagles and that little Marfoogle. How did I miss that live stream? Yes, you did, yeah. I've got the BJ Blade. I've got the no. La 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 la. La 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 la. Girl, I know I love Beagles.
And like that Johnny Doom, and jumping through the water, and get your mom too.
Here's why it got the surplus prepper and everybody like the record going back and Bruce Epparelli going back and round and do everything that you wanted to. Judy Pie, Angelica, the cable guy, and Doris White. Everybody wanna say and everybody knows fly. We got to go and gypsy mom and real girl. Kevin Fingersound, Larry Price, Scrappy Licious, and everybody nice. Everybody really wanted Johnny Doom, crazy coyote. I'm going down and now it's a time for you. And everybody really want that country local. Everybody know I like the Eagles. I got Derek Fisher going back. CJ Blaze up in the house. We've got Clelly Kit Kat, Johnny Doom, SPSM. This show is dedicated to you. Thank you, Luna Soul, Mersa 1, Susan Donahue, Amy R, Gone Girl 777. Everybody really want to know Rip Curl and the rest of them. They want to cage us. They think we ageless. Got a brain that's thinking about all of us now. Oh, 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 oh. I just don't wanna say, oh, 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 oh. I got
special shout out to Anita Torres 360. It's been nice seeing you. Haven't seen you in a minute. We're going to be hosting someone around here very soon. If you're over on D-Live, you can continue chatting. The chat's open 24/7. If you're over on YouTube, get over there and say hi. I like the way that they're going back mountain wide. Rice official and the rest are all getting down. We still number one, even though we're not even known. And I tell you, that's because you. Ha! I say you. We're going to be hosting our little bit of Chum Money because he's a very positive guy. I tell you what. I love all you guys. Mark Sketch, of course you can. Mr. Mark Sketch is one of my favorite sketches around. He's the sketchiest Mark I've ever known. I love Sketchy Mark. Mark Sketch. Sherry Williams, your name sounds like my favorite paint, so I love it. Wait, that's Sherwin. Sherry, whatever. I like the Sherry Williams. Oh no, Sherry Williams. Oh no, the Sherry Williams. I like the Sherry Williams. Not the Sherman Williams. I like the Sherry Williams. Not the Sherman Williams. I like the Sherry Williams. Not the Sherman Williams. I like the Sherry Williams. Not the Sherman Williams. I like the Sherry Williams. Not the Sherman Williams. I like the Sherry Williams. This is the Foogle. Oh yeah. Ah, dang it, he's not live anymore. That sucked. Gotta go back, gonna do that, gonna find it, gonna love that, gonna love that, gonna love that, gonna do it every day. Oh yeah. I like the way that you go. I say the way that yes you know.